you guys are doing. So get as much information as you can about it. We have what's called the National Association for School Psychologists, our website, NASP, and you can go on there and look up kind of the background information and to see programs are accredited. They also have great like free resources. So I know that there's been a lot of natural disasters going on with the wildfires, with the hurricanes, and all these different things that are occurring. So there's kind of suggestions and advice for like parents and for students and for school personnel on what to do to help out students who like are facing that or are asking questions. You know, for us, it's more of like they are asking questions about the things that are going on because we're not directly impacted by it, but they also provide kind of resources for what do you do if you are directly impacted by it and how can you help out students and families. They also do trainings. Every year they hold this annual convention. And so I'm going to sell out Fresno State's program right now because that's where I graduated from. And every year we had a grant when I was there, and you get to go on this annual convention. So they place it at different cities around in the United States, and you get to go and you get to do all these trainings and you get to do all these professional development that is very beneficial. So you have professionals in the field, you have professors, and they kind of give you information on what you can do, and you can take it back to your practicum or your internship, or even for us now back into our jobs and kind of implement that. So that's one of my advice is to get as much information as you can to actually shadow a school psychologist. So to go in and just like what you guys did and just contact a school psychologist and just sit with them, talk to them about what they do. You can even just follow them around for a few hours and to see what their day is like. So you actually get to kind of walk in their shoes. And different school psychologists attempt the same things differently, and also different school psychologists do different things. So I'm here at the middle school, and then I also have an elementary side. So my role is very different depending on my student population and depending on my team there. So that's my administrators, my teachers. So it's good to just shadow, and what we do in our school district in Fresno Unified may be different from neighboring school districts, because as a practicum student, when I was going through their program, I went through different districts, so they do things a little differently. Everything pretty much is the same, but they do things differently. So to shadow school psychologist, to do well, to have a good and high GPA. So I'm going to promote that, especially for the Fresno State program. There's a big emphasis on that because the program is pretty much rigorous. So you take about 3 to 4 classes your first semester. I think the first semester was about 4 classes. It's about 16 units, and it's very in-depth. It's very rigorous. It's like what I like to call, it's undergrad but on steroids. So it goes really quickly. It's very fast paced, but you learn a lot. So to keep up the grades, to do well in terms of your GPA, some programs require you to have your GREs. So that may be helpful to study for that. So just look into the program. Talk to the program coordinators ahead of time. So once you kind of get a feel for school psychology and you kind of like it and you kind of shadowed somebody, narrow down into the program that you'd want to get into, and then start researching kind of what are their requirements, set up a time to meet with their program coordinator to kind of talk to some of the graduate students that are currently in the program, and that way you get a feel for that program. So that's some of the advice or tips I would give. Yeah.